Hi guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your weekend. With it being Saturday once again, that means it's time for another weekly home fragrance roundup. And if this is one of your first videos here on my channel, this is a series that I've done for a very long time, and it's basically just an opportunity for me to round up all of the home fragrance that I was using around the house over the course of the past week and just kind of chit chat about that. So what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, and what I was lamping. Lots to discuss from this past week, but before we get into it, check out the description box. Lots of links down there. I will put links to where to find any of the candles that I am mentioning in this video. There will be information about this weekend's candle sales with the companies that I tend to frequent the most. There are some discount codes down there. There are also some videos that I link every single week for those that might be newer to the home fragrance world. So if you don't know what a candle crock or a candle lamp is, you might want a little bit more information about those accessories, or if you want a good recommendation for either a crock or a lamp, all of those things are linked in the description box. There's a couple of other videos that are linked as well each week. So check that out if you are so inclined. Normally I would say I'm doing this video alongside my trusty assistant Alf, but I don't know when he's gonna pop in here. He's currently taking a little nap on the couch with Penny, so I'm gonna let him be, but he might just randomly pop in the video later on today. And when he does, you might hear some snoring in the background, so if that happens to be the case, enjoy the free pug ASMR. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And we will start with the usual tour of what I am currently burning around the house, and also what I have underneath my lamps, as well as my crocks. So let's go ahead and get into it, and then we'll meet back here and talk about all of these other candles from this most recent week. All right, we're gonna get started here in the entryway, and just about 20 minutes ago, I lit up a Kringle Carrot Cake. This is one of the fragrances that is available from the Easter 2025 collection. I shared my first sniffs of the candles that were sent to me from that collection a couple days ago. And in my initial impression, I said that this smells a lot more like a spice cake on cold sniff than it does an actual carrot cake. I do get a little bit of that like cream cheese frosting vibe here, but it's more so a spice cake to my nose than it is an actual carrot cake. I love it. Listen, this smells fabulous. I just don't really think it smells like carrot cake though. I would love to know if you guys disagree with me, those of you that have had this fragrance in the past. This is my first time with it, so to my nose, it's just coming across a lot more like a spice cake than anything else. In fact, I am tempted to burn this just a few times to be able to review it. And I think I'd like to actually put it back into my collection and hang on to it until about September or October, because I think this is going to be a fabulous fall gourmand for me. It's just a little too, I don't know, it's got too much of a fall vibe for me to think about this being a springy Easter type scent, but I might be in the minority on that opinion. This has just been lit for about 20 minutes now, so it's kind of just starting to kick in here. And I think post-burn, I'm still really getting spice cake vibes. So we'll see. I'm obviously gonna burn this several times before I even review it. So maybe that carrot part of the carrot cake will kick in for me a little bit more. But as it stands on cold sniff and just this first initial burn, I still stand by this being an absolutely fantastic spice cake, more so than a carrot cake. Feel free to let me know if you think differently. All right, let's move on to the kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen island, where I am currently burning Voluspa Tahitian Coconut Vanilla. This is obviously one of the big Mama Jama candles that Voluspa offers. They call it their hearth size. I originally tried this fragrance years ago when it was a Sephora exclusive. I picked it up in one of their just one wick tins. The tin actually came in a trio with 2 other voluspa fragrances. I don't even remember what the other scents were, but the one standout to me was absolutely the Tahitian coconut vanilla. You guys, this is so good. I don't know if I ever formally reviewed the one wick. I'll have to look back, but I'll definitely be doing a formal review of both of the hearth candles that I purchased last year when voluspa was having a pretty decent sale on their website. I picked up this one as well as the California Summers in the hearth size, and no regrets, you guys. These are such beautiful vessels. They use a coconut wax, which burns incredibly clean, just like soy. So if you are looking for another type of clean burning wax to be able to enjoy, I would definitely recommend coconut wax. Most of the candles that I've tried with coconut wax have been from voluspa thus far, but I'm definitely looking for other brands that have this type of formulation as well now, because like I said, it is incredibly clean burning. But outside of just that clean burn and the gorgeous vessel, this particular fragrance is so good, you guys. You really get that beautiful, like rich Tahitian vanilla. The coconut is the perfect creamy coconut. There's also some peach in here, which adds like an interesting sweet component that's a little bit different from the sweetness that you're getting from the coconut. It's just the most beautiful summertime fragrance. And if you have not tried this one from voluspa, I can't recommend it enough. It is gorgeous. It is no longer a Sephora exclusive. So you can find this scent on the voluspa website now. I don't know if it's sold at other retailers, but I do know that it is finally available on the voluspa website. And chef's kiss. This is one of like my favorite fragrances ever now. And I just cannot get past how lovely the vessels are. I do obviously have this in my Chester Hurricane. As you can see here, that is the Pottery Barn Chester Hurricane. This glass is actually really thick. I don't have this in the Hurricane because I feel like it requires it to be able to pull out properly. I don't need a Hurricane at all. I just think it looks really pretty in there. So that's why I have it in the Chester Hurricane. I have my California Summers in the Entryway in my second large Chester Hurricane. No, I can't link this Hurricane. I would love to. I get a lot of questions about it, but Pottery Barn has discontinued this style. If you're looking for something somewhat similar, I would say look for the Daphne. It doesn't have like the pedestal look like you're getting here, but it's a pretty similar design, pretty timeless, classic. So I would say if you want something that is somewhat similar to the look of this, check out their Daphne Hurricane. All right, let's move on to what I have been warming underneath my candle lamp this week, and then we will check out the Crocs. All right, we are still in the kitchen. This is the candle lamp that I just keep on my kitchen counter here. And this particular lamp is one that is, I think, my favorite in terms of the overall aesthetics. It is a little bit more expensive than most of the candle lamps that I have linked in the description box typically. But if you are looking for a really beautiful candle lamp that has all of the features that I really recommend looking for, this My Luxe Garden lamp here is fabulous. I'll have it linked in the description box this go around. It is more expensive, so just mentally prepare yourself for that. But it does have a beautiful marble base. It has the white shade and then brass accents. It also has the timer. It has the adjustable dimmer. So if you don't want to warm a fragrance at full strength, you don't have to do that. There's just a lot of really great features with this specific lamp. And like I said, aesthetically, I think this one is just kind of a stunner. So if you're in the market for a lamp like this, I'll have it linked. But underneath here, I have still been warming the ScentWorx Mango Coconut Macaron. I think I'm definitely done with it at this point. I can see that the wax has completely liquefied to the bottom. Let's see if that comes off on camera here. Is it? Oh, that's bright. Okay, never mind. Just, you'll have to trust me. This is liquefied completely here at the bottom. This is actually the wax line right here. So yeah, I have emptied this wax a couple times this week. It's pretty weak. And I think at this point, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and shut this lamp off and try to find something else to plop underneath it for this next week. I really enjoy having this specific lamp in my kitchen because it's one of those great like background type fragrance producers for me. I don't really have to think about, you know, a flame being in use here. If I leave the house to run an errand really quickly, I don't have to worry about turning this off the way that I have to worry about blowing all of my candles out. It's kind of the same thing that Scentsy is to me, which is just additional great background fragrance to complement whatever I'm burning. I will say this scent has played really nicely with the Tahitian coconut vanilla. I definitely burned that one a few times here in the kitchen, so this has been going in the background the entire time. They're a wonderful combo, but honestly, I would not tell you to go out and buy this particular ScentWorx fragrance. I put it underneath the lamp because I basically couldn't smell it while it was burning. These are just so light. The strength and throw is just not what I would prefer it to be. I still have 3 more of the ScentWorx candles to review, and you'll definitely see those reviews coming up here in the next few days. For sure, you'll see either 1 or 2 of the reviews tomorrow. But yeah, overall performance hasn't been significantly better than this one here. So that's a bummer, but I don't know. ScentWorx was never really a brand that I got into the way that I got into HomeWorx. So it doesn't completely break my heart that these didn't work out for me. But I do appreciate Harry trying to create more affordable home fragrance products for people. So if you're interested, you can find these ScentWorx candles at your local Walmart, and you may get a slightly better performance out of them if you don't have a super open concept, high ceiling type of home setup. I do, so it just makes it really hard to get anything out of these, especially these revamped ScentWorx candles. So anyway, for what it's worth, I think I'm done with this one. And I need to find something else to put under here for this next week. So let me know if you have any suggestions from what I have in my collection. All right, let's keep going. Welcome to my laundry room, where I have the first of 3 candle crocs that basically work over time for me. All right, so I decided to go ahead and put the last little bit of my Country Candle Sugared Peony. Let me set that back down before it slips out of my hand here. I decided to go ahead and put the last, I don't know, was that like maybe a quarter of the wax that was left? I went ahead and put it in this candle crock because I really was looking to extend my enjoyment with this specific fragrance. I have burned this candle like it's my job. This is such a beautiful, sweet tuberose and peony combination. This scent is heavenly, and if you are a floral lover, I would highly recommend checking this one out. It is quite sweet, so if you don't like those really sweet florals, I'm gonna say skip this one. But if you are trying to get into florals, I think this is a wonderful starting point. It's very enjoyable. It's not aggressive. It's just a beautiful scent. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. I will be repurchasing this. Now, I think I might go ahead and pick this up in the wax melts going forward. I really actually almost like this better when it's melting. It's pretty similar to what it smelled like when it was burning, but it's almost like there is more sweetness that comes through with this one when I'm melting it. So that has me craving the melts to try those and see if it's going to give me a similar effect here. But overall, this fragrance I think is a stunner from the spring summer collection, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you purchase this one and the pink chiffon parfait and peony, I think it's called. Yeah, that's the one. If you purchase both of them, burn both of those fragrances together, you are going to be in a sweet spring floral heaven. They're so good together. So anyway, absolutely love this one and will be repurchasing it. If not in the candle format, then definitely in the wax melt format. It's too good to pass up getting more of this one. So if you're in the market, check it out. It's really, really pretty. All right, let's move upstairs. We are now upstairs in the master bedroom, and in this candle crock, I decided to go ahead and put the Kringle Leprechaun Treats from the St. Patty's collection this year. This was actually the only candle that I purchased from that collection, and it was really a good one. This was basically vanilla mixed with some more vanilla, and then they just sprinkled just a little bit more vanilla over top of that. Is this a boring scent? Probably in some people's eyes, but I loved it. I'll totally get it again next year. This went on sale for like just over $15, and as soon as it went on sale, it was snatched up. So I was not able to get my hands on another one, but trust me, when this comes back next St. Patty's Day, it will immediately go back into my cart. This is a great one. If you purchased it, enjoy the heck out of it. I love it. I think this one smells so good. Again, so basic, but so delicious. I burned it to, let's see here, was it just about the halfway point? Yeah, I burned it to the halfway point here, and then am now enjoying the rest of it in my crock. I imagine that this will probably go for maybe another, let's say another like maybe 3 days. The vanillas definitely tend to fade a little bit faster in my candle crocks, but I still will have gotten just over a week of continuous 24/7 fragrance output by plopping the last half of it into my crock. I don't even think that it would have burned that many hours, so I feel like I almost have gotten to enjoy this a little bit longer by actually putting it into a crock. So I don't personally see using crocks as wasteful, but I know that other people do. So no pressure to go and get any crocks and use them. But for me, again, this is just another way to just enjoy some great background fragrance. And it gives me a chance to honestly also get through my candles a little bit faster. I am trying to keep my collection under control, but I am always purchasing new candles. I'm also receiving candles in PR, and so there's usually a decent amount coming in, and I need things to also go out. So using my crocks, using my lamps, and then also burning my candles is how I get through my candle collection and how I am keeping things under control, because that's my big goal in life now, is to no longer let my different hobbies get out of control in terms of just the sheer amount of things I'm bringing into the house. I like to enjoy what I love, but I also am trying to be mindful that it doesn't take over my entire house, much less my entire life. So, all right, let's move on to the last crock, and then we'll head back downstairs. This is the last candle crock that lives in the very back bedroom of the upstairs of our house here. And this is the same candle crock or candle warmer that I have in the laundry room. I bought both of them at the same time. No, I can't link this one. Again, it is long discontinued, but I will say, if you can hunt down the Candle Warmers brand on Instagram or TikTok or wherever they have a following, because I feel like every company has a TikTok or an Instagram at this point, but Maybe screenshot a picture of this one, and everyone, let's just email them all at once or reach out to them in their DMs and say, hey, can you bring this design back? I'm telling you, this is one of the candle accessories that I get the most questions about, and it always bums me out to have to be like, oh, sorry, you can't have it. The ones that I have linked in the description box are from the same brand, so same great quality. I've had my teal ones here for easily 10 years, I feel like at this point, and they are still kicking, and I use these things almost on a weekly basis. So they're a fabulous quality. Definitely would recommend just candle warmers in general as a brand, but they need to bring this design back. I would really just like to be able to link it instead of having to tell people, sorry, but here's a plain white one. If you're looking for something that's, you know, neutral, here, try this one. A lot of the candle crocs that are out there honestly are a little bit too kitschy looking for my taste. There's a lot of inspirational quotes, and if there is one thing that I hate in life, it is a cheesy inspirational quote. So those are not my jam, and a lot of the other warmers are usually like figurines, like snowmen, which can definitely be cute for the holidays, but obviously not super great for year-round. So anyway, the ivory one and the white one that I have linked down below are great neutral options if you are just looking to incorporate into whatever design style you have. They are not kitschy, they don't have inspirational quotes, and they're just plain. They're great. Listen, they're great. What do I have in this one? All right, this is a Kringle herbal tea. Now, I actually did not purchase this one. I met up with my friend Amber for lunch. We have a monthly lunch date that we do, and we usually exchange prizes with each other. So this go around, I brought Amber some perfume that I no longer wanted and also some skincare. And she brought me some candles that she could no longer stand. So she bought herbal tea and was like, this is not for me. I think she only burned it once. It looks like she only lit this candle once. So it was mostly just brand new. And I was like, you really don't like this? And she was like, absolutely not. Take it. So I'm really enjoying it back here. I decided to go ahead and melt it because I wanted a candle to put back here. I didn't have anything else that I was interested in warming in the back half of the house. So this was kind of the perfect thing. I think this is a wonderful spring fragrance. It gives you those real tea vibes, and I really like the herbal aspect to this one as well. So if you're in the market, it's still available so that you can purchase it. I really like it. Amber does not. So, you know, take a look at the fragrance notes. I obviously also have an in-depth review of this one already. I reviewed it when it was initially released. So if you're interested, you can check that out on my Kringle and Country Candle playlist. But I really like this scent. I haven't picked it up in a while, but now that I'm enjoying it, I think that I might go ahead and order it again because I actually really like it. It's a great fragrance. So anyway, let's head back downstairs and finish the rest of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what's currently burning and melting around the house. It smells really, really good in here right now. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig into what else I was burning and melting this past week. I had a little bit more time on my hands this week than I had originally anticipated. I was supposed to go into work and work on this huge like reorganization project for my boss of her like studio, but the shelves that we were supposed to get were delayed in terms of being delivered. So I had most of this week off, which was great because again, it gave me an opportunity to dig a little bit further into the home fragrance that I am working on reviewing for you guys right now, which is a lot of these spring and summer fragrances that were released from Kringle Candle recently. So anyway, I'm trying to get through those as fast as possible to get you guys some post-burn reviews. And also this week I started digging into the Easter collection as well. So yeah, anyway, lots of in-depth reviews still to come. In fact, tomorrow I will have 3 more in-depth reviews that will go live here on my channel. And yeah, we're just gonna keep plowing through with these in-depth reviews as I get to the halfway point with a lot of these candles here. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and officially start with the candles that I was actually able to finish this week. And the first one is a ScentWorx candle. They're different. They are different. Okay, if you're not familiar, ScentWorx is it's just another one of the brands that is under the Rakuten & Co umbrella. So HomeWorx is one of those brands that falls underneath that umbrella. So does AromaWorks. The Dwell 212 body care line falls under the Rakuten & Co umbrella. Now, ScentWorx has been around for a little while, but they recently got a revamp. I've been sharing these in-depth reviews here, and I gotta say, just my opinion is that I'm not a huge fan of this revamp. I really liked the vessels so much more before. Even though ScentWorx was a Rakuten & Co brand that I never really got into myself, I definitely appreciated the former format a lot more than I do this format. So this week I did finish, and I burned it the whole way down. I finished the lemon blueberry muffin. I just recently formally reviewed this one this week, so you can see here that I reached the bottom there. I gotta say, the scent here I think is actually pretty decent. It's not quite as sophisticated as the HomeWorx fragrances typically are, but I think it was a good lemon blueberry muffin fragrance overall. But the strength and throw wasn't super great. My biggest problem, however, was the wicks. This kept getting puny wick syndrome, and I would have to pour out some of the wax to get the wicks to recover. And they would be fine for like a day or two, and then they would go back to drowning in the wax again. So then I'd have to extinguish the tiny flames that I did have, pour off that wax, and then start over again once everything hardened up. And it just was kind of this vicious cycle of like it burning okay for a couple days, and then it tanking, and then me fixing it. It's just a lot of babysitting. This was a lot of babysitting for a candle that I don't know, at 46, I don't have the patience for. So anyway, if you're on a really tight home fragrance budget, you can find these at Walmart. The price point is the lowest at your local Walmart. You might get enough out of this for it to be worth it for you to pick these up and try them. But for me, with this higher ceiling, more open concept type situation that I have in this house, I just am not getting enough strength and throw out of these. And then to top it off, the wick issues also aren't super helpful in terms of me building goodwill towards these. Here he is. I knew he'd join us. I knew he would. He can't stay away. He loves his home fragrance. All right, settle in there, buddy. Yes, hello. Do you want to say hi to everyone? If you're new, this is Alf. He's a pug, not a Frenchie. His ears are down, not up, but he just is the super cutest, and he has the nicest snores. I love to listen to him snore. Anyway, that's Alf. All right, so big womp womp here. I won't be repurchasing this one, but I don't know. If you want to try him, I think for the price point, take a chance on him and see how you feel about the performance. But I wouldn't say go and buy, like, you know, 5 of your favorite fragrance. Maybe try one first, see how you feel about the performance, and then kind of go from there. But for me, I don't know. Rakuten & Co was kind enough to send me 5 of these fragrances to review for you guys. I feel bad, you know, not saying the most positive things about them, but if there is one thing that, you know, every company is aware of, if they are going to send me things, it is that I am going to share my honest opinions about it. Sometimes just a fragrance doesn't, you know, isn't naturally something that I would gravitate towards. That's just a personal preference thing. That's one thing. But if the candles do have some type of burn issue that accompanies them, I am going to share that information, because I don't want you guys to buy something that you are going to be disappointed by, or something that you're going to have to end up returning, because it's It's a nightmare to have to return anything. I hate doing it. And I should really honestly probably do it a lot more than I actually do, but I just hate the waste that's associated with having to return products. Those things just get damaged out, as they should. They should not be put back out on the sales floor, but it's just more stuff going into the landfill. So I don't know, I would rather probably just try to find another way to use something up, or maybe pass it along to somebody else than return it to a store. But I know not everybody feels that way about that, but that's just kind of, I don't know, that's my personal preference. All right, the other candle that I finished this week was the Bath & Body Works Freshly Brewed Coffee. Now this one I burned to the halfway point, and then the last half of it I decided to put into my candle crock because this one also got puny wicks. It just completely dudded out on me. So I put it into my crock. It only lasted like a couple of days in the crock. It was wild how fast the fragrance oils dissipated out of this one. After, I would say, about the second day of being in the crock, I just could not even smell this anymore. So I just shut the crock off, poured the wax out into one of my fire starters that I'm making, and just wrote this one off. So I mean, listen, as far as a coffee scent goes, I think Bath & Body Works has done better. I do think that their, is it the Paris Latte? I think it's the Paris Latte. I think that one is a nicer fragrance myself, personally. I like a coffee and cream type of coffee scent. So this is more of just a straight up coffee versus like a latte. But yeah, anyway, this is not one that I'll be clamoring to repurchase myself. Not that it's even currently available right now. But yeah, a lot of you even said, go for the, Paris Latte. Is that the right one that I'm thinking of? I'll put an annotation. I'm sure I'm gonna have to like edit the crap out of this video. So anyway, let's keep going. Let's continue on with some other candles that I was burning this past week, but I didn't finish any of these. So we're gonna go back to ScentWorx here for a second after I just spent a lot of time talking about that lemon blueberry muffin, but I'm also burning these other 3 fragrances still. These are 3 of the scents that I have left to formally review. So you'll definitely see a review of at least 1 or 2 of these tomorrow. This is Golden Vanilla. Golden Vanilla is actually one of my favorite fragrances from ScentWorx before this recent revamp. This one smells so good, you guys. Jeez. Would you like to grunt some more? This is so dramatic. Figure it out, homie. Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Okay, hold on. He's got to settle down. There he goes. All right. He's calm. All right, so the Golden Vanilla was one of the fragrances that I really actually enjoyed from ScentWorx back before this recent revamp here. I will say the Golden Vanilla has burned the best in terms of the wicks. I think I've only had to pour the wax off of this one once, and it's done pretty good with just that one, you know, wax removal that I had to do. I love this fragrance, but I have noticed that as I've gone down further in the burn on this one, it has gotten significantly weaker. More so than I feel like it should be at this point. Like, there's still a decent amount of wax here, and it still gives me like a solid wax pool, but it's just very faint at this point. I don't know. I still love the fragrance. The body spray, man, I love the body spray in this one. It is delightful. They did also rework, or at least, I don't know if they reformulated, they definitely repackaged the ScentWorx body care items. So I do like the overall look of the newly revamped body care items. I think that was definitely an improvement there. But I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way to seek those out. I think they look a lot nicer now though. So, all right, S'mores was the other fragrance. This was another one where yesterday the wicks actually kind of dudded out on me. So I poured off some of the wax and after I extinguished the candle. So you might be able to tell on camera, I'm hoping that you can, but do you see that black part of the wick there just at the very top? That is what was burning during that last burn, and the flames were so low, you guys. So I had to pour off some of this wax. You can actually see the wick underneath is that showing up at all? Probably not. I don't know what I'm doing here. But this should give me plenty of wick length at this point to probably be able to finish it. But yeah, this is what I mean by it just, like the flames just get so low, you guys, and you almost have to pour out some of the wax in order to get the candle to continue to burn in any kind of way. So also, this smells more so like milk chocolate, or I've seen a lot of people compare it to Tootsie Rolls. I definitely agree with that Tootsie Roll assessment, but I also think this smells like milk chocolate as well. So if that's your like scent preference, you might really like the fragrance of this one. I have been told that the smaller sizes, so this is a 14.8 ounce size. I don't know the ounces on the smaller size, but the smaller version of these candles do fit inside candle crocs. So if you just want to buy these to melt in your crock, that's probably a pretty affordable way to enjoy these and get maybe a lot more fragrance output and probably a longer enjoyment time versus trying to burn these. So I don't know. I'm thinking about actually picking up Golden Vanilla in the smaller format so that I can just put it into my candle crocs, because I do really like that Golden Vanilla. That's a great scent. Another fragrance that I've really fallen in love with that I would also consider purchasing in the smaller size just to be able to melt is their Sugar Cookie. Man, I love this Sugar Cookie. It's not terribly exotic. This is not a super fancy fragrance, if you will, but it is really good. So I will say this is another one where, and you can really tell how short these wicks are here, especially this one here in the corner. Look how short those are. Like, this was after my last burn. I don't think I'm gonna get much flamage here, if you will, next time that I go to light this. And this is one that I still need to review, so I need some kind of performance out of it for the actual review. But yeah, I'm just about done with it. But the fragrance itself, this and the Golden Vanilla are chef's kiss. Really good. Very basic fragrances. These are not exotic, like I said, but I think they're well done. But the burn's rough. All right, let's go ahead and discuss the candles from the Kringle Easter collection. So I have burned all of these candles at least once at this point, and so far there are a couple of fragrances from this collection that I have fallen in love with, and one of them is the chocolate eggs. You guys, go back in time with me to when you were young and you got your Easter basket. I'm sure all of us had these like foil wrapped solid chocolate eggs in our Easter basket. They were just a staple in every single Easter basket, and they were usually milk chocolate. Somehow Kringle has completely encapsulated the fragrance of these chocolate eggs in this candle. They smell exactly like these foiled chocolate eggs. Oh man. And I really like this one. I don't normally like milk chocolate. I much more prefer like a dark chocolate, like a real rich, bittersweet chocolate. And this is very much milk chocolate, but man, did they knock it out of the park with this fragrance. If you want to just have a super nostalgic moment in your life, you need to try this Easter candle. It is heavenly and so crazy authentic, I'm telling you. Get it. I will say, this one has been, well, at least the first burn has formed some pretty big mushroom tops, so you're gonna wanna trim that off before subsequent burns. But in terms of the performance of strength and throw with the first burn, it was like an 8 on the first burn. Now, obviously that could decrease as we go down, but I love it. I love this one. The notes on this one are milk chocolate, sweet, sugar crystals, vanilla, buttercream, and cocoa. Just ignore all that. It smells like these eggs. So good. If you're a chocolate fan, this is another chocolate candle from Kringle that I think you need to try. It's really well done. I will say my second favorite is definitely going to be the Sweet as Can Be. Listen, delicious lemon pound cake. That's what this smells like to me. Lemon pound cake. It's just so delicious. On Cold Sniff, this one, the lemon gave me a little bit of a very, I would say borderline, like cleaner type of lemon scent. It still smelled like lemon, like very distinct lemon, but just starting to head into the lemon territory that I don't personally love. Now, when I lit this for this first burn here, it was delicious, edible, gourmand, like lemon pound cake. I did not get that lemon cleaner vibe at all when this was actually burning. And I stinking love it. This reminds me of, is it the Village candle brand? They have I believe it's Village that has a lemon pound cake. And that particular lemon pound cake is so, so good. This really reminds me of that. If you like that Village candle fragrance, you should try this. Man, it's good. I want to eat it. I want to eat this. I want to eat both of these. Now, these other fragrances I think are really good as well, but they are definitely a little bit more in the like floral department. So first one here is the Easter Petals. Again, I love the speckled finish here. I think these are absolutely beautiful. Now this one is a really interesting, vibrant, really bright floral. It's got quite a bit of green to my nose. So this is Lemon Petitgrain Twigs, Italian Bergamot, Neroli Blossom, Patchouli, Musks, and Amber. This is a really pretty neroli. If you did not like the neroli in the Mandarin Petals, let me assure you that this is nothing like the neroli in here. I have thoughts about this one. We'll get to it. But yeah, this is a beautiful neroli. You've got that citrus in here. You've got just that green that makes this really interesting. I think the green note that's in here is coming probably from the Petitgrain Twigs. I would imagine that that's where I'm getting that particular note, because there's no like leafy green or grass or anything like that mentioned in here. But I like this. And I really like this neroli. This is neroli done right. This is neroli done real rough. That's a rough fragrance for my nose. All right, this one here I think is really pretty too. This is Bunnies and Flowers. Now this one is very green, a very green floral. So this is green foliage, vetiver, floral, moss, and wood. I like it though. It's definitely a little bit more of a perfumey floral. Healthy dose of a leafy green type note in here. Beautiful burn on this one. Perfect kind of strength and throw. It's not overwhelming. Florals, I don't like when florals are super potent. Unless it is a very sweet floral or a floral that's mixed with a gourmand. In that case, make it as potent as possible. But I think the strength and throw on this one, which I would average out at about a 7, is kind of perfect. Now that might be kind of low for those of you that are wanting a powerhouse out of this one. And this is obviously the 3-wick format here. I've gotten a strength and throw on the first burn here of just about a 7. So that's perfect for me. But if you're looking for more than that, I don't know if this is gonna be strong enough for you. It's fine for me though, I can tell you that. Oh buddy, good snoozes. He's having the best nap right now. All right, this is Berry Citrus Bloom. I really like this one too. I'm loving the jasmine and the freesia in here. I love jasmine and freesia, so this one is a stunner. The notes are red berries, orange, rose, jasmine, freesia, geranium. That's another really beautiful note in this one. Musk, sandalwood, patchouli, and amber. Yeah, this is one that I feel like I would want to wear as a perfume. Like it's that type of perfumey fragrance. So that might turn some of you off. If you don't like the perfumey florals, you probably want to stay away from this one, but I really like it. Again, it's a little bit sweeter. I think you're getting a lot of that sweetness here from the berry notes as well as the orange. And then you're getting this kind of very unique green floral note from the geranium. But I think it's that jasmine and that freesia in here that really give it that pretty, soft type of floral vibe. I really like this one. That's a beautiful fragrance. Anyway, that is the Easter collection so far. I do want to film some in-depth reviews of all of these, and I should be able to probably within the next week here, which should still give you plenty of time to be able to order these before Easter. I think Easter falls on April 20th this year, and I don't think any of these have sold out quite yet. So for what it's worth, those are my initial thoughts. And lastly, let's go ahead and discuss just a few of these spring and summer fragrances that are new from Kringle and Country Candle for 2025. I have started reviewing a lot of these new fragrances, so if you missed any of those reviews so far, there is a Kringle and Country Candle playlist on my main channel page. You can go there, and I have been updating that particular playlist with all of the Kringle and Country Candle reviews as soon as they are going live here on my channel. But these are some reviews that you'll see coming up here in the next few days. I didn't grab all of the candles to bring them in here, so I just grabbed a few of them. These are the ones that you'll probably see reviews of, like I said, shortly. I'll definitely share my review of this one tomorrow because I have now struggled to burn it to this point. Listen, this Country Candle Mandarin Petals is one of those citrus fragrances that I'm really struggling with, and I think it's specifically because of the type of neroli that they used in here. So the notes on this one are mandarin, citrus, fruit, neroli, berry, and musk. Based on these fragrance notes, especially with the fruit being mentioned, the berry, I figured this would be quite sweet. I was hoping for a very sweet, maybe almost candied neroli, but this is such an aggressive, almost earthy neroli. It's like the musk that they put in here is, I kind of feel like it's taking over. This is just not enjoyable to my nose at all. I've really struggled to get this one here. It doesn't smell a whole lot better when it's burning than it smells on cold sniff here as it's like wafting into my nose holes. Yeah, listen, if you want to order this one, this is one of the ones that I will absolutely tell you, please get it in a smaller format first before you make a big commitment to this one. Get the daylight, get the wax melt, stick your nose in that first to be able to experience the very unique, aggressive neroli that is in this particular scent. I just can't think of a better word than just aggressive, and like it's one of those scents that just comes at you and it just smacks you in the face, and like she will not be silenced. It's a good performance in terms of strength and throw. So if you happen to like this neroli, the strength and throw, no issues. It's potent. It's potent enough for me. I would put the strength and throw probably at darn near an 8 for this one. So yeah, if this is your neroli, then have at it. You can have all of it. After I review this one, I'm gonna be passing this along because it's just not for me. I really appreciate Kringle sending it my way, but it's one of those scents where I just can't disguise my feelings. The next candle is also from the Country Candle release, and this is the Fresh Bergamot fragrance. Listen, if you are a lover of pure, I'm talking pure bergamot with maybe a hint of like lime zest, this is your fragrance. This is the Fresh Bergamot, which that is what this is. If this is what you want, this is what you're gonna get. This is so much bergamot. I definitely enjoy this one a lot more than the Mandarin Petals, but I will also say that this is it's a little too fresh for my nose. I also am not the biggest fan of lime, and the lime is decently noticeable in here. So if you do like bergamot and if you do like lime, I think this is going to be right up your alley. It's, like I said, incredibly fresh, insanely potent. The strength and throw of this one is easily an 8. But I will tell you this, mine have some misplaced wicks, and that is creating a little bit of an issue for me because these wicks want to get married. They are right next to each other, and they basically combine into one really powerful flame, which makes this candle almost way too hot to have burning beyond like the 2-3 hour mark. So I don't let this one go for very long. You can see here, ignore that hole. Sometimes that will happen when you extinguish soy candles. You'll get like some cracks or you'll get some holes that form. This is totally safe. It's totally fine. It's just gonna fill right back up as soon as I light this candle again. But my wicks are literally right next to each other. You can see them there. I trimmed the wicks because I'm getting ready to light this one. I am gonna probably review this one for tomorrow as well, or maybe this one will go up next week. But yeah, you can see that that is some wick misplacement. If you receive a candle from Kringle where the wicks look like this, and mine were pretty much right next to each other when I first received the candle. Now this was PR, so I did not contact Kringle about this. I figured that I would just go ahead and, you know, burn it as is and let you guys know the performance. But if I were to have purchased this particular candle, I would have definitely contacted them and asked them to send me another one. I would have definitely sent this one back if they were interested in getting it back, but yeah, these wicks are way too close. And like I said, it just creates like one giant flame, and that's too much, especially for this jar. So I'm definitely, you can see that the top of this jar is definitely discolored. So I have to watch this one very carefully. It can get dirty pretty quickly if I let it go for more than a couple of hours. Now yours, if you order this one in this full size here, yours should be fine. This wick misplacement happens very periodically. I've only ever received one other Kringle candle where this has happened. So it's a rare issue, but if you do see this, I would definitely contact Kringle. But anyway, if you're looking for super fresh, super limey, if you're looking for a lot of bergamot, very zesty, very potent, you should try this one. It is strong. Really strong. Even with me like blowing it out only after a couple of hours, and it lingers too. This is one of those fragrances that lingers. So if you are a bergamot lover, you should definitely check this one out. I definitely like this one a lot more than the Mandarin Petals, but it's still not one of those fragrances that is in my natural wheelhouse. I like bergamot, but I don't like it to be the whole star of the show, if you will. I like bergamot as an accent, not as the main feature. All right, I didn't bring all the candles in, so you'll have to forgive me. Again, you'll see reviews of all of these coming up, but 2 other candles. This one I actually reviewed this week. I really like this Aegean Zest. My friend Katie, she's also an ambassador. She absolutely detests this one. I actually kind of like it. Well, I love the Yuzu and Sage. If I had to choose between Yuzu and Sage, Yuzu and sage and Aegean zest. I would definitely personally go for the yuzu and sage, but I don't mind this Aegean zest. I think it's very bright, very vibrant. I think it's a really nice citrus. Katie does not like it at all, which is totally fine. Again, this is all of us have our personal scent preferences, and not every single fragrance is going to agree with every single person. But this one here, I thought was really fresh. It is one of those citrus fragrances that if you are cooking fish for dinner or something, if you light this candle, it is immediately going to get rid of that fishy smell. In fact, I think also the fresh bergamot, if you lit this up, if you are like cooking something in the house where you're trying to like clean up the air, this would take care of it. But this Aegean zest I think is just a little bit fresher. It's not as aggressive as the bergamot, and it's just a really nice fragrance. Basic notes here, you've got lemon, citrus, floral, gardenia, musk, and green. You do have a really nice gardenia note in here that I really enjoy. But yeah, this is one of those where I really like this one. I would definitely recommend it. But if the gardenia doesn't appeal to you, skip it. The gardenia is quite noticeable in here, and you have to like lemon for sure. Yeah, I don't know, I like it. There's also a definite green note. I'll take Katie's off her hands. I'm kidding, but yeah, I think that's a great one. I really like it. The last candle that I want to mention is the Spanish Moss. This is also new for spring summer 2025. Now in my eyes, this is a little bit more of a fall type fragrance. The notes on this one are moss, floral, aromatic, wood, patchouli, and musks. I kind of like this one. I feel like this is one that is growing on me the more that I burn it. Now, what I'm really thankful for is someone else picked this up, and on one of my videos was saying that this smells a lot like the voluspa Temple Moss fragrance. The voluspa Temple Moss fragrance has been in my cart over at Bloomingdale's for a little while, just a like classic jar size, just their classic 1 wick jar. So it's great for me to know that this is very similar to that, because it's definitely a little bit different from maybe what I was expecting when I was reading through the voluspa fragrance notes. So I'm glad to have gotten this first, and for someone to have said they are very similar. I think I'm probably going to go ahead and pop the Temple Moss out of my cart for now, because if it is that similar to the Spanish Moss here, then I don't want to review that voluspa candle until the fall in all likelihood. But if you want to experience, I guess, Temple Moss now at a lower price point than what you would pay at voluspa for Temple Moss, check out the Spanish Moss here. It is just a very interesting, definitely aromatic, woody type of fragrance. I just don't think of this as a spring fragrance. There's also a healthy dose of green in here. I think the green part of this fragrance definitely screams renewal and spring, but I think the aromatic woody part of this is much more potent, much more powerful, and really, to my nose, makes this smell a lot more like a, what am I trying to say? Like a fall type of fragrance. But I like it. It's, again, it's one of the ones where when I first smelled it, I was like, yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not really in my wheelhouse necessarily. But as you can see, I have burned it. And the more that I burn it, the more she grows on me. So I don't know, maybe I'm a moss girl. Who knows? I could be a moss person going forward. All right. Lastly, let's go ahead and dig into the wax melts that I was enjoying this past week. I'm really sorry if you can hear any background noise in the video here. The neighbor's lawn crew just arrived, and they are mowing their massive back lawn that they have. Our neighbor's property is just about, I think, like 1.5 acres, and it is all grass. So these poor guys are out there in like the pouring rain mowing this enormous lawn right now, and as they like walk by our fence line, it gets pretty loud. So I'm hoping that that isn't being picked up by the camera. I'm sorry if it is. All right, last week I took the entire week off from warming in my Scentsy warmers. I just really wanted to be able to focus in on the spring and summer fragrances that I was burning and reviewing. And for whatever reason, last week it was easiest for me to do that by kind of turning off some of the background fragrance that I typically have going. So I'm a big fan of layering my home fragrance. So I do that obviously with candles, with wax melts, with what I put in my crocs, with what I have going underneath my lamps. I don't try to overdo it. And in fact, if I did overdo it, like if this was too overwhelming, trust me, Craig would let me know. Craig lets me know when there is something that he does not care for. Like the Garden Fresh last week, the PP candle. I have not lit that thing at all this week. I'm still gonna review it, but I think I might actually, maybe I'll review that one outside. It's just a really rough fragrance for both Craig and Stella, and quite frankly, our neighbors as well. So while I don't mind the scent, those guys did not care for it at all. So anyway, but yeah, if there's something that Craig or Stella, if they think it's overwhelming or they don't like it, I always make sure that I respect that. But yeah, I like a lot of fragrance in my house. But last week, it was just a little bit easier to turn off some of that background fragrance to be able to focus on the new things that I was burning. All right, let's dig into the wax melts from this past week. There is only one non-Scentsy, and it is Sweet Stuff from Country Candle. Now, this is a long discontinued fragrance. I discovered it really late. I bought like 50. It was an embarrassing amount of wax melts, but I bought a ton of these wax melts when they were being clearanced out. This is one of the fragrances that I think Kringle needs to bring back because it smells almost exactly like the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 fragrance. If you're not familiar, that is the fragrance that is in the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Boom Boom Cream. I love that stuff, and that particular scent is one of my favorites. So when I discovered that this was a dupe for it, I just went ham. They need to bring this one back. When they make this transition of eliminating the Country Candle jars, this is one of the scents that I am going to be lobbying for to come back in these jars. Kringle, bring this back. Put it in here. I will put it in the 4-wick. Please just don't bother with the 2-wick. Just put it in the 4-wick and give it back to me because I love it. Thank you. All right, moving on. I kind of went ham with the Scentsy this week. I was changing on my wax every 2 days. I didn't actually need to, but I just was like, well, I have to make up for last week. So anyway, here we go. Petals and Peaches. This one is beautiful. It's mostly a fresh, juicy peach. Are you gonna get back in my lap? Yes, you are. All right, here he is. Alf has returned. This is a really beautiful, juicy peach, but there's also a definite floral note here. It's kind of a tropical floral note to my nose. Really sweet. I just think it's so pretty. I love this one so much. I adore this fragrance. I still have several bars of it that I'll be enjoying this coming spring and summer. It's one of those where as soon as the warmer weather really starts to kick in here, I will be craving that fragrance. Happy birthday. I did some happy birthday this week and mixed it with Jam and Jubilee. So this was like a raspberry birthday cake concoction. What a great combination this was. I know that I have talked many times about doing these like scent combination videos, and I promise you one of these days I will start sharing these videos. I really just need to sit down and start writing some of these combinations out and get like some initial videos like ready to go, but that just requires a lot of effort right now that I guess my brain is not capable of. But if you're looking for a great combo, if you have Jam and Jubilee and if you have Happy Birthday, please put them together. This was one of my favorite combinations ever. Delicious, so good. Another one of my favorites is Starburst Sky. This to me is almost like a sweeter version of my beloved Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods perfume. That is one of my favorite perfumes in my entire collection. I own a ton of perfume, and the Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods is at the very top of my collection. I adore it. This is so similar, you guys. It's sweeter. It's a little bit sweeter than the Vanilla Woods, but it's perfect. God, it's perfect. I just love it. I love it. So good. All right, this one here is Posy Peach. I only went through about half of this bar this week. This is a very like fuzzy peach fragrance. So when I was warming the peaches, the petals and peaches, I had this one going in a couple of my other warmers. These complemented each other very nicely, but they are two very different peaches. This is almost like that like fuzzy white peach, whereas this is more of like that typical like peach kind of scent. Does that make sense? Peach. You know, peach. All right, this is Coconut Citrus Parfait. I don't know what year this is from, or if this was a Bring Back My Bar. I don't know what this was, but I liked it. It's really interesting to combine coconut with citrus. I wouldn't necessarily pair those two together, but it worked well in this one. I liked it. I think it was nice. Definitely gave me some like tropical summer vibes when it has been very rainy this spring so far. The weather is starting to drive Craig crazy. My husband is one of those people that needs sunshine in order to survive. Unfortunately, I think that I might be a vampire. I don't need sunshine at all. In fact, I think I do best when it is cold and dreary and raining. So I'm thriving right now. But poor Craig, I can see him like continuing to sink into his seasonal depression. We could not be more opposite when it comes to the weather. So I just hope for my husband's sake that maybe we start getting some sunny days here. Anyway, here's another happy birthday that I finished. And then the very last fragrance that I want to mention is Pixie. Now, I do think this one was from the most recent Bring Back My Bar, if I remember correctly. I like this one. It's definitely a perfumey fragrance. Also oddly fresh. Fresh, potent perfumey. Very interesting. It's not the type of fragrance that I would necessarily vote for again if this comes back around in another Bring Back My Bar voting. But I did enjoy melting this one in my bathrooms this past week. So it's a nice fragrance. It is a nice fragrance. But yeah, that was it. That was everything that was in my little bucket to melt here. Oh gosh, there was more. I lied. What else is in here? Okay, I didn't go through those. Another Jam and Jubilee, but not finished. So, but that's it. That's everything from this past week. Alf and I appreciate you being here. He has just been snoozing, just resting on my chesticles here while I've been filming. So yeah. Anyway, Alf and I are going to clean up our mess here, and we are probably actually going to get ready to film some in-depth candle reviews that will go live here on the channel tomorrow. So if you're not already subscribed and you're interested in more of my home, oh, he's taking off, in more of my home fragrance related content, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button before Xing out of today's video. Give this video a big fat thumbs up if you found it helpful or entertaining. Lots more home fragrance content to come, so stay tuned. Let me know what you're burning and melting in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.